Namaste, everyone. This is going to be gentle slash restorative. We just had a new moon in Pisces, and Pisces has the energy of being creative, sensitive, intuitive. And Pisces is ruled by the planet Venus, which is about love and beauty and art and serenity. And dreams. So, what I want us to focus on today is imagination. Now, I could have brought this up yesterday in that astrological report, that imagination stems from the spiritual realm. And so that's what I want to talk about today, because I kind of felt like with the new moon and the energy being lower, that maybe we could do a little bit more restorative work. We will move a little bit, but nothing too dynamic. I do ask that you have a strap, 2 blocks, blanket, bolster available for today. All right, so coming back to imagination, imagination allows us to daydream. Imagination allows us to go kind of into a fantasy world. But oftentimes in that realm of fantasy and in that la la land, we want to see these things kind of materialize in the physical plane. We want it to cross over from our minds into the realm of reality. And the cool thing is, we do have that opportunity. I want you to understand that people who have in their imagination certain type of innovative ideas, it starts in that realm first. And then, of course, it can play out into life. We see this with science, some brainiac in science may have a certain amount of knowledge and they may have an idea kind of download into their brain. And then they're able to start to do experimentations and create inventions and do things to see if it materializes, or at least create some advances for civilization. It can come up in anything. It can come up with art. A certain musician might hear a piece of music in their inner ear, but then they have to go to their instrument to start to play the notes to allow it to actually be sung. You can do that with your voice. You can do it with poetry. You can do it with, creating paintings. At other times, you may have other ways to bring your imagination into play. I want you to think about when someone is a writer, for instance. I've heard 2 different authors talk about they had a creative idea for a story that they wanted to write. And they started to write it. Maybe they put it on the back shelf. And then all of a sudden, a book comes out and they see that it's the same storyline. And they're like, how is this possible? How did they create the same storyline that I did? And what I want you to consider is the fact that these ideas are coming from the ether. These ideas are inspired. So to be inspired means to be in spirit. To be creative means we're using creative life force energy. And within energy is information. And so different people can receive the same ideas and information. It's just who's going to put it into practice. I heard at my lunch yesterday, I had lunch with 2 girlfriends, and one of them has the idea of creating a wellness center. And she's had this idea brewing for a year, and she was writing down her business plan when we joined her for lunch. And she was saying, I want chiropractic services. I want acupuncture. I want a naturopathic doctor. I want yoga, meditation, Reiki, all of these things that can create a sense of healing and well-being with people, thus the Wellness Center. And we were meeting a friend of ours who's a massage therapist. And the massage therapist said, you're the 5th person that I've seen this week who have said the exact same thing. And of course, my other friend, it kind of blew her mind. And she was like, wait, what? 5 of us? And it totally makes sense. To be inspired is to be with God. And who's going to receive that and who's going to put it into practice? That doesn't mean all 5 of these people that got this idea are actually going to put it into action. So it's coming down from the ethers. It's getting downloaded into certain people. And then certain people will have the drive to actually put it into practice. So that's what I want you to consider today. The fact that this new moon is in Pisces, it's asking us to retreat, to reflect, to be with our imagination, to be in spirit. So we'll do a little movement and then I'll give you time to rest. And for today's practice, I'm giving you permission to let your imagination run. All right, so I will meet you on the mat. Sorry, I'm very allergenic today, so I'm a little sniffly. We're going to start on our back, but have your strap and hands reach. I would suggest if you have a really long strap to go ahead and loop it. Now, when I say long strap, it needs to be 8, 10, or 12 feet long. If it's 6 feet, don't worry about it. You can use your hands. Let's go ahead and lower down to our back. Let's bend the knees first. Let's do a little scooping of the belly, a little tucking of the tailbone, and then sprawl the legs back out. Your hands can rest on or off the body, but close your eyes. Begin your mindful breath work. Breathing in, breathing out through the nose. And go ahead and lower the hands beside you and close the gap between the feet. Point your right foot and slowly sail it up in the air. And then flex from the ankle, and on the out breath, lower it down and allow it to hover right above the earth. Pointing and lifting, same side, stay on the right. And then exhale, flex, and lower. Continue this 3 more rounds. Pointing and lifting. And then flexing and lowering. Single leg lifts. All right, now set your right foot gently to the ground. Take the arms overhead as you inhale. And as you exhale, stay on your right side, catch your right knee with your hands and pull it in towards your chest. Inhale, extend the arms, the right leg. Exhale, gently hug the right knee towards you. 3 more rounds. Synchronizing movement with breath. On your next hold, continue to hug the knee in. And then affirming, I release my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. Release the right leg. Release your hands beside you. Turn your palms back down. Point your left foot. Inhale, sail it up. Exhale, flex and lower from the ankle. Hovering if possible to work the lower abdominals. Inhale, elevate the leg. Exhale, return it back to hover. And then doing these single leg lifts on the left side, only 3 more rounds. On this last descent, set the heel down to the floor. Inhale, arms overhead like a Y shape. Exhale, draw the left knee towards you. And then continue this with repetition. Now hug and hold the left knee only. And then release. All right, go ahead and bend both knees. Roll to one side of the body and come up gently. We're going to take this strap around the upper back, unless you can't loop it, unless it's not long enough. And then if that's the case, you're just going to hold the strap with your hands. Once you roll back down, we're going to suspend the right foot in the air. So the right foot will go into the strap, and then you'll find the loose tab to adjust the strap so that it's holding the leg in place. This is more of a restorative variation of the supine Padangusthasana. So just to share something personal, I've had this idea brewing for a number of years to write a book on how to theme yoga classes, because a lot of yoga teachers struggle with figuring out how to theme classes or how to interweave it throughout the class. And so I've saved every lesson plan for the last 20 years. I mean, I literally have storage bins full of papers and notebooks. And I've just never taken the time to sit and write. And then when I was in teacher training for my 300 hour a number of years ago, I discovered they had one of the modules on theming classes. And our required reading for that module was a book called Theme Weaver. And someone else had the same idea and had already created a book. So just reflect for a moment on maybe some ideas that you've had that you put on the back burner. And it's not saying that you can't do it just because it's already been done. But I look at the legs as being an area of the body that we need to open in order to have the courage to take the time to put things into action. The legs as well as the solar plexus. Now we're going to bend and buckle that right knee. And I want you to reach your hands up to either hold the strap and to give it a tug downward. So the right knee is coming straight in towards your chest line. It's very different than half happy baby. In happy baby, the knee angles away from the body. In this form, it's coming straight in towards your body. If your hands can reach the foot, you're welcome to hold the foot and pull down. Since your hands are close to the foot, let's go ahead and take that strap away from it and send the right leg down the length of your mat. Now take a moment just to take a mini corpse pose. Notice the difference it brought into the right leg and hip. You may even feel slightly lopsided. Now let's match it up. Draw the left knee in, wrap the strap around the sole of the foot, and extend your leg. Again, adjusting the strap using that loose tab or holding it if the strap is too short to wrap around your body. You want to find the edge of your flexibility, but remembering we're going to hold it for a little bit. So maybe not go to 100%, maybe more like 80%. You might have noticed that when you're planning a trip somewhere, you have this idea come that you want to go this or that place, and you start arranging it or dreaming it up, and then all of a sudden you're seeing posts or hearing people converse about the same place. So sometimes our imagination is completely unique and individualized, and other times it's just in the collective field of consciousness. And we're feeding or reading that information. So go ahead and take the hands up to the strap. Start to bend the knee, drawing it towards the left side of your chest. And you can hang out here, of course. But if your hands can reach the foot, you can also hold there. One is not better than the other. It's giving you the same effect. And then we'll loop that strap away from the foot, set that foot to the floor, slide your right foot back to join, roll to one side of your body, and gently come up. So we're going to do a couple things here. The strap is going to stay wrapped around the body. Your feet are going to be forward of your knees as you hold your shins. Inhale, dive the heart through, open the throat wide, a little cow tilt. Exhale, round it back to cat stretch. Inhale, coming through to cow. Exhale, back to cat. Couple more. Now, the next time you lift up energetically, you're going to take your arm to the inside of the leg, hook it under your calf or knee, flex the ankles, and bring in the Shuni hand mudra, middle finger to thumbs, which gives us the ability to be patient. Patience being something we need in balancing poses. Jut up through the heart. Bring the feet together. Draw them to the floor. Free up the hands to hold the front sides of the feet and bow over them. Baddha Konasana. Affirming here, secure in myself, I accept whatever is. So the second chakra is our creative juices, our throat being our creative expression, third eye being our imagination. So you can see how these have to feed back and forth between each other. My son is becoming a songwriter, and he's been writing some songs, and he called me upstairs a couple weeks ago, and he was like, listen to this song. He was playing a few chords on the guitar and singing the lyrics. It was actually a really cool song. It was his first ever country song. And then he finished telling me that he knew the song sounded familiar to him, and he realized it had a little bit of a similar arrangement to another artist that he listens to. And so he was a little worried about that. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about that. It's similar, but it's not the same. And your lyrics are completely different. The story, the expression of the song is completely different. All right, inhale, slowly come up. Separate your feet again. And slide your left arm to the inside of the left knee. Let the hand hang down. Inhale, reach that right arm out and up. Give a little bit more of a lift in your chest. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Slide that shoulder to the inside of your thigh or knee. Take the left arm, carry it out and up. Lift up a little higher through your heart. And then exhale, release that hand. I'm going to turn my back to you so you can see this. So notice how the strap's hanging loose. Your left shoulder is going to hang down again. Same idea, except the left hand's going to cross under and find the strap. Reach the right arm up. Flip that hand around, loop it behind your back, maybe holding the strap. If you can't find the strap, don't struggle for it. And if your hands meet, they can bind together. But again, lift your heart, roll open through the right shoulder. And release. All right, we're going to take that to the other side. Right shoulder hangs down. Right hand crosses the knee. Left arm reaches up. Turning the hand. Finding the strap. Again, don't struggle to find the strap. It's okay for the hand to just rest at the back. Or loop the hands. And exhale, release. All right, we're going to go ahead and take that strap away, and we're going to restore. So let's bring the bolster under the back. Let's allow the blocks to be set up under the knees for reclined butterfly with the back bend. Your blanket can go under your head like a pillow. It can also just sit on the body to weigh you down or to keep you warm. When we talked about the heart center and heart chakra last week, we mentioned this is also a place of beauty and art. And this is how we tap into the seat of the soul. And so the soul helps to co-create with the divine power or with God. So again, seeing how these energy centers can assist and support each other. So you can breathe your thought forms away, or feel free to allow your imagination to run today. Now we're not going to move a whole lot from here, but I want you to lift your right knee up and turn it over to join the left. So you're in just a very small, slight kind of baby twist. Settle back here. Okay, we're going to send the knees now over to the right. And just let them lean on that block that's still there. Back and take rest. There are times where our imagination can take us out of the present moment because we're so invested in it that it's taken us to another space and realm and time. But there's other moments where, when we're with our imagination, we can still be grounded in the present moment. Because in that moment, we're receiving that information. So see if you can tell the difference. Scoot your right head down to that block underneath the knees. Slide it away so that you can tip over and down to your right shoulder. Push down through the left hand and gently come up. We're going to use all these props again, minus the strap. Stonehenge. you prefer another version like this, maybe legs up the slide or legs wrapped with a blanket over the bolster, feel free to create your own. Astrology keeps saying that there's going to be so much happening in the next few months towards the end of the year that will reshape different things in our society where our reality may seem different than it did at the very beginning. Certain cures. I just read an article this morning that they're making big advances towards curing HIV, which is amazing. They're creating huge advances and almost have created a cure for EB, some sort of skin disorder that children have. We know that all this AI technology is coming out. So maybe for these last few minutes, just imagining what you think the world will look like by the end of 2023. Go ahead and begin to deepen the flow of our breath. Rotating the ankles. Turning the head side to side. Let's roll away. And we're going to come up to do a side bend before we complete class. So let's lift the right arm up, curve over, back to sit, and release the hand. Left arm up as you breathe in, curve over as you breathe out. Breathing in and up, out and down. Joining your hands together to prayer. Namaste.